Is anyone else kind of afraid that maybe Trump made a deal with Putin and Xi that he gets the Western Hemisphere, Russia gets Europe, and China gets Asia? I don't mean to like freak anybody out, but I can't think of any logical reason that the Americans would abandon Europe unless Trump made a deal that he can take Greenland and Canada and Russia and China won't do anything about it, while Russia can take Europe and China can take Asia, and we won't do anything about it. I really hope that's not true, but the more I look at what's happening around the world, the more I seem to come to this conclusion. And like I said, I really hope that's not true, because that's way, way closer to 1984 than I ever wanted to see in my entire lifetime. If you don't know, in 1984, the entire world is run by 3 countries. That 2 of them are usually at war, and they're usually at an ally with the other one. It switches back and forth. It's really irrelevant in the story. I hope I'm wrong, but man, it seems like that's where we're going.
He's in the Oval meeting with J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. There are cameras there because Trump's never going to miss an opportunity to dance for the cameras. J.D. Vance begins berating Zelensky, then accuses him of attacking them in front of the cameras, which makes no sense. And when Zelensky finally tries to answer all these rapid fire questions J.D. Vance threw at him, he says something about, you might be on the other side of the ocean, but you'll feel this war. And Donald Trump loses his shit. Don't tell us what we're going to feel. And then accuses him of, you're going to start World War III. Not the guy who invaded him. No, he's going to be the start of it. Then J.D. Vance follows up with, you campaigned for Kamala Harris. This is so embarrassing and childish.
Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly
this.
I'm not
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. It's back to you far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this entire meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
This is why I can't be in politics. If I was Zelensky sitting there and Trump started speaking to me that way, I would lose my mind. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to cause World War III, you stupid orange fuck. Your buddy, the one you're the lapdog of, he's going to cause it. You know, like when he invaded my country and started killing my people. If anyone causes it, it's him and his actions. And you spineless fuck, and your little friend over there, who may or may not wear eyeliner, the two of you not having a backbone is going to make it possible. This is what the leader of the free world looks like. Losing his shit, getting offended, and blah, blah, blah. I will never stop being embarrassed by this fucking guy.
Zelensky should have reached his ass across the room and smacked J.D. Vance dead in the fucking face. And then after that, proceeded to drag Donald Trump right the fuck out of his chair. We just witnessed a pissing contest, and your best response was you're threatening World War III. If you don't know what I'm referring to, you'll know quite soon, because the state of America literally is crumbling right before us. J.D. Vance, Mr. Cat Eyeliner, who doesn't have a thought between his ears, decided he wanted to chime in on bullying the president Zelensky with Trump, and Trump just had his ego ripped out of his ass and decided to act like a barbarian fool. Not only that, but there was a Russian media presence in the White House. You know, the hand-picked media that was supposed to be selected by Miss Puffer face? Yeah, somehow they're trying to deny that they knew Russia was in the room. So for everyone who thinks that this is good and you have a president opening his mouth about a World War III, you are insane and we are as a country.
Welcome back to Sparkle's show, where we break down the biggest conversations happening right now. Today, we're diving into the fallout from Trump's latest diplomatic moment that has MAGA voters in an uproar. Many of them, fresh off re-electing him, are already expressing regret as things aren't turning out how they expected. We're seeing real-time reactions, some saying they were misled, while others are doubling down. Before we get into it, full credit to the original creators and Stitches. They've been covering this from all angles. Now, let's get into the details.
Real quick. Okay. So, evidently, after Zelensky was out of the White House, right? He went straight to Europe. Okay. He went straight to Europe, and he got a bunch of European leaders involved, and spoke to them, and wanted more money. And England, their prime minister said, boots on the ground, planes in the air, yeah. And do you really think that's going to happen? No. So now, after, he was thinking about it, and so a little while ago, he's deciding to let Trump know that, hey, yeah, no conditions, no terms, I'll sign it. I'll sign the deal. You petulant child. Why didn't you just do it in the first place? I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, at least it's getting done, right?
Trump and Vance were acting how I act when I get in an argument with my man and I'm losing, and I start acting childish and I just start saying anything and raising my voice because I'm losing. And I'm like, well, you don't even do this for me no more. You don't even do that for me no more, because I don't have nothing to say about what he said because I'm losing. And I can admit it's fucking childish, but this is the president and the vice president. Bro, what the fuck?
He did not humiliate Zelensky. He did not humiliate Ukraine. He humiliated the United States of America.
You're going to have to deal with this. But you know what? His first 4 years, we lost all our mental health help. All of it. For my teenagers, for me, I have CPTSD. I had a lifetime of childhood abuse. You want me to have therapy. You know what's going on now? We're losing our medical as well. Nobody within 100 miles will take Blue Cross, Anthem, Blue Shield. Why? I don't fucking know. But I can tell you this. I am watching that man tear our country apart down to the studs.
I hope every American is completely baffled and embarrassed by the behavior of JD Vance and Trump today towards President Zelensky. I thought it was bad listening to Trump have conversations with other world leaders, but JD Vance really took the cake today. He cannot be in conversations with world leaders. He cannot be trusted because everything that he said was extremely inflammatory and it was on purpose. Not only did he show that he doesn't have decorum or respect for a president that is actively fighting for the sovereignty of his nation and his democracy, but he showed that he does not know what's going on. You know, in those group of friends where there's that one leader and then the other one who's just trying to impress that person all the time, making stupid jokes, making fun of people just to get their attention and get a chuckle out of the other one? That's JD Vance. Just a loser. trying to do anything just to impress Donald Trump so he can get a pat on his head and say, "Good job, boy, you did a good job today." This is the same administration that is actively taking money out of the American people's pockets by taking away jobs from people that actually voted for him, allowing a billionaire who is not an elected official to be able to have access to some of our most sacred data, all for the name of what? Efficiency? That's not about efficiency. If you guys are not seeing what he's doing, he's trying to save as much money as possible to be able to afford tax breaks for the billionaires, for the 1%. This is not about the American people. This is not about making the government more efficient. If it was about that, they would go through Congress. They would go through the legislature. This is all a sham, and we're actively being scammed every single day. And it's time that we stand up for ourselves. Enough is enough.
Watching whatever that fucking press conference with the president of Ukraine and Trump was genuinely was so heartbreaking to watch. Like this man has been through enough, and the way they are talking to him like he's a fucking child, honestly, not even a child. They didn't even give him just not an ounce of respect, didn't even let him get a word in. And not only that man is not even speaking in his first language, which I can only imagine how difficult that is, to be in a room with people basically attacking you. And not only can you not get a word in, but you're also speaking in a language that's not your native language. Like, I truly, I feel like I talk about this stuff a lot on here, but I just see something new every day that I'm like, wow.
MAGA's growing frustration. What changed? It's no secret that MAGA voters were fired up to get Trump back in office. They wanted economic relief, stronger borders, more international respect. But now we're seeing major frustration from some of those same supporters. What changed? 1. The economy isn't bouncing back like they thought. People expected instant results. But inflation, tariffs, and economic instability are hitting harder than expected. To Trump's latest diplomatic moment, instead of projecting strength, some say he fumbled the optics in a way that left the U.S. looking weak. 3 promises versus reality. The big campaign speeches didn't translate into the overnight success many were hoping for. The real tipping point? Trump's interaction with Zelensky. It was supposed to be a power move, but instead, it's being called a major diplomatic failure, a sign of global instability, proof that America's position is slipping. Some MAGA supporters feel betrayed, saying, "We voted for strength, not this. This is not what we expected from a second Trump term. Why aren't we getting the leadership we were promised?" At the same time, others argue that this is just political theater, and the media is blowing things out of proportion. Where does MAGA go from here? Now, the big question. Where does this leave MAGA? Are we seeing the first cracks in Trump's second term? Will his base stick by him, or will some start looking elsewhere? And most importantly, what's the breaking point for MAGA voters? One thing's for sure, the FAFO season isn't over. Reality is setting in, and not everyone is happy with what they signed up for. At the end of the day, politics is about results, not just promises. And for some, those results aren't matching the expectations. What do you think? Is this just growing pains, or are we watching a major shift in MAGA's support? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breakdowns. Thanks for tuning in to Sparkle's show, and I'll catch you in the next one.